She's a well-known Irish model who has attracted the attention of both the national and international media. Shahira Barry will be here at 8:15 to tell us how her career is going from strength to strength. Coming up, she describes herself as a showbiz head with a passion for modelling, singing, acting and dancing. Shahira Barry will be here after the break to talk about carving out a career in Tinseltown.
Now, at just 22 years of age, Shahira Barry has seen her career in showbiz take off, both here and abroad. A regular in the tabloids, the Irish Independent described her as someone you should know. But it was when Mr. Hugh Hefner and Playboy came knocking on her door that Shahira's career really began to skyrocket.
Originally training to be a primary school teacher, Shahira is now finds herself in a world full of Hollywood parties, photo shoots and attending castings. But Shahira insists that it hasn't all been glitz and glamour, and she joins us now to tell us a bit more about herself. Good morning, you're very welcome.
Good morning.
All right, let's start with you. Shahira Barry, where are you from? Tell us about yourself, your family background and all the rest of it.
I'm from Galway, and but I model up here in Dublin with assets. And my family background, my mom was actually born in England. Her mother was Irish, her father was Bangladeshi, and she's a single parent, so there's no that.
Okay, no, that's grand. And brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I have one sister, and she's 9 years older than me, so she's kind of a bit of a parent at the same time as well to me.
What part of Galway did you grow up in?
I grew up in Oranmore, but I live in Athenry now.
Okay, and you went to school in?
Oranmore.
Okay, and then you went to college in Limerick, was it?
In Limerick, yeah.
And you obviously must have thought about teaching or education at some stage or another. I mean, you wouldn't have tried to be a primary school teacher unless that had been, you know, there'd been some urge for it.
No, actually, I love teaching, and I do think that I'm quite a good teacher. And kids always love me, and I suppose because I'm young, they kind of thought I was quite cool, you know, and stuff compared to the other teachers. But no, I loved teaching, but it was always a bit of a backup plan. Like, I am a showbiz head. I love not just modelling, but singing, acting and dancing as well. And I always wanted to be in the entertainment industry since I can remember. But I just wanted something, like, my life hasn't always been easy with a single parent mother and stuff like that, and I wanted something that I knew was solid, and I thought that primary school teaching was a bit more of a solid career to do, and the holidays and everything, the pay's reasonable on it and everything, so that's why I went with the primary school teaching. But it was always...
It's the backup.
It was a backup plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you haven't had to lean into it too much now. So when did the modelling start? When was your first job, and when did you think, I'm actually making a living out of this?
It kind of started to take off quite fast, to be honest with you. I got into it because my friend died halfway through my college course.
She was your oldest pal?
My oldest friend, yes, since I was 2 years old. And just someone I always took for granted, would always be there when I was getting married, would be a part of my wedding. Like, she was just someone who I always kept in touch with. I moved around a lot as a child, but I just always managed to keep her as my friend. She was the one friend I kept my entire life, really. And when she died, it was the first loss that I ever experienced, because my granny and granddad had died, you know, well before I was born, and I had never experienced the loss of someone so close to me before in my life, so it really hit me quite hard. And at that point, I just thought, you know what, life is short and you only have one, so you have to do what you really want to do. And for me, I knew that was to get into the entertainment industry and to do modelling and singing and acting and all that.
Grab life and do what makes you happy.
There's thousands of young women in Ireland who think exactly the same thing. They wouldn't necessarily come to the conclusion because of a tragedy like that. But it's an awful long way from that to the Playboy mansion in Hugh Hefner. So how did that happen?
Have you ever read the book The Secret?
Yep.
Sometimes I feel like my life, especially the past year, has been a good example of that book, because when I read it, it's all about, like, just putting things into your mind. And I'm the type of person, if I set my mind on something, I'm going to do it. When I set my mind on getting my points in my Leaving Cert, I got exactly those points that I wanted. I got the college course I wanted. If I 100% focus on something, I tend to somehow it tends to work out. So far anyway, it's been working out. And to be honest with you, I'm not even sure how everything happened. It's worked out the right way so far.
Was that your intention? Did you decide, I want to go to the Playboy mansion, I want to meet Hugh Hefner, I want to see whether there's something in that area as a career, or was it just luck?
Because they came looking for you, didn't they? They started making the calls.
Well, in a way, because what happened was, I always knew I wanted to go to Hollywood and to LA. And I'm on a modelling casting site, and I started looking up castings in LA just to see what kind of was going on over there, what the jobs were like, that type of thing. And then I came across some...
Was that Enrique Iglesias I saw there?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Anna Kournikova doesn't need to worry, no?
No. Although he is a very handsome man, but no. And then I started adding casting directors and stuff like that, and I happened to add a casting director for Playboy, but he's also a casting director for many other things, and he has his own agency and
Like
everything.
video shoots and stuff like that.
And then he wrote to me and asked me did I want to cast with Playboy. I think he thought I must have already been in LA because I was looking at all the LA castings, and he asked me did I want to come to a casting last May, which I couldn't attend. But then that kind of set in my mind that I was going to go to LA on a holiday, so I booked a holiday with a friend for 2 weeks in September, and I always kind of thought maybe I might meet with Playboy, but I thought it would be in the Playboy offices and never the Playboy mansion. And it was literally like 2 days beforehand, I got a random email from the Hef's secretary inviting me up to the mansion on the Sunday that I arrived. And I flew on a Saturday. I went to bed at 9 o'clock because I was so jet lagged, and when I woke up the next morning, I was on my way to the Playboy mansion, and it was
Wow. So what is it like? I mean, is it sleazy? Is it weird? Is it tacky?
No, well, I was so excited when I first heard I got to go because I genuinely never thought I was going to get to go to the mansion. But I was so excited, but when I was in a taxi, the nerves kind of kicked in, and I started thinking, oh my God, what if it is sleazy? What if they expect me to get involved in this stuff that I don't want to get involved in? And my heart was going so fast. But the minute I got there and I started to meet the staff, the valet, the butlers, everyone, I knew straight away it wasn't going to be like that. And there's no
So, I mean, you mentioned Playboy, and automatically people assume that you're prepared to take your clothes off.
Yeah,
Now,
I know.
Is that a wrong assumption?
It is and it isn't, because it's never been my aim to be a playmate or to be a Playboy bunny or to ever pose nude or pose topless
You
or
have to be
anything
US
like
citizen,
that.
didn't you?
Yeah, that's.
Do you?
Yeah. But or just
Or you
have
need a work visa
yeah,
for
a
that.
long-term work
Right.
visa, because you have to be able to commit to it for a year if you want to be a playmate. And that was never. I love singing, acting, and dancing, so I kind of think that if you do cross that line of doing topless or nude or anything like that, it's kind of, it may be closing other doors for you when it comes to singing and acting. If it was just the modelling I wanted to do, then I'd probably jump at the chance
Well, look,
to do
beautiful,
it.
well-educated young women shouldn't have to take their clothes off to make a living. Now, if
No.
they choose to do it, that's their own business.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't. You shouldn't have to.
Yeah, exactly. I was asked to test as a playmate this past summer, and it was in the first couple of weeks that I was there because I've got quite close to that original casting director. I'm friends with him now, and he asked me if I wanted to do a test photo shoot to become a playmate. But I didn't have a long-term visa, because if you qualify as a playmate, you have to commit to it for 12 months of the year, live there, do all the different playmate things. And he asked, it was actually about the day before, or 2 days before the shoot, he asked me to do it, and I kind of panicked and said no, and I don't know if I did the right thing or not now.
You went with your gut, and that's what you have to
Yeah.
do. But
Always the
look,
right thing.
you're 22, it sounds like the world is your oyster, and maybe you
Yeah.
could get to star status and then name your price
Yeah,
for the cover.
that's the difference as well. I think if you're just starting out, it's not going to be on your terms. But if
Yeah,
you were
absolutely.
more established, then it would be a bit
You
more.
sound like
on
a
your
good
terms.
head on your shoulders. I think
Yeah.
you'll be fine.
Anyway, we
Shahira,
wish you all
thanks
the
so
very
much.
best. And
Thank
you are a
you.
beautiful, well-educated young woman, and the world should be your oyster. So good luck with it.
Thank you.
Not at all. We'll take a break and we'll see you back here.